that? This is like a very small computer. It's called a Psion. But what is this Psion? Lately, a lot of people have been asking me, where did all this start? You know, look at this. I got a lot of hardware. You know, I got a fancy computer, fancy home server. I got a fancy screen, laptops, cameras, a lot of other stuff in here. I have a lot of gear here in my studio. And some people were wondering, where did it start? How did it start? I think I was 15 or maybe 16 years old. And we went to my uncle, one of my uncles. We were just there, you know, having a family dinner night. I think I was bored. And they gave me this small computer. I was allowed to play on it. You could do like typing documents. At the end of the evening, they just said like, you can have it. For me, that was the most amazing thing ever. I've been brought up really strictly, so I wasn't allowed to have like a laptop or a computer for myself. This was amazing that I was allowed to have this for my parents. So actually, this was where my interests in technology started. Within like, half a year after I got it, it was broken. So I was trying to fix it, just screwing it all open, trying to find the problem. These things are, I think this one is from 1995. You still need like Windows 95 to use it. 10 megabytes. That was the storage that I needed back then to play games on it or to put programs on it. By the way, it was the first tablet computer. I think that is the moment where my life really shifted, because I wanted to be...
You just said something. I didn't hear what it was.
I wanted better things. So I started looking for, a better version of this one with more memory and so on. And then I came on these versions. You have like bigger versions with colored screens, because this one is without color. It has like black and white screen. Unfortunately, it's dead, so I cannot show you how it looks when it works. I wanted to be better, so I tried finding an upgrade, but then the prices were like pretty expensive back then for a colored screen one. So I actually wanted to upgrade to a laptop. But back then, I think I was 16 years old. I wasn't allowed to. But this really got me into the technology thing, trying to fix it. I even bought another one. That's this one. Is completely broken. It was an amazing feeling to have these, small computers for myself. 1 year after this, I bought my first laptop. I finally was allowed to buy my real laptop. And that is where it all really started. When I bought this laptop, I think that the first thing I did after I got it installed, I started to disassemble it. I mean, I wanted to see how it looked on the inside. Since I was allowed to have my own laptop, I was thinking like, let's just get more interested in computers. So I found this old computer from my dad on the attic. Basically, that is, I just took it and I started playing with that. I wanted to upgrade that computer as well, because I was learning some things, I was looking on secondhand.be and Gepaza mainly to find new hardware for this computer. I upgraded it, and after a few months, that was not sufficient for me, so I sold it. This was the start of my small entrepreneurial career. I started buying stuff, cleaning it, repairing it, making it better, and selling it with a small profit. And I continued doing this throughout the years. I mean, I was active on like secondhand.be, Gepaza, but also other websites. Let me show you. Secondhand.be. These are all my ratings. Perfect rating. People started to trust me. That's the same for eBay, Then there came like other websites in the past few years where I bought things from China. I became like a VIP customer because I was buying so much from it. It wasn't only about buying and selling stuff and making a profit from it. It was also about the reputation. That is actually where my interest came into this digital marketing thing. And this evolved to the point that I am right now, where all this hustling and all this knowledge comes from. That is where it all started. I started hustling on secondhand websites. I didn't realize it back then. I was a little bit entrepreneurial. Unfortunately, my parents kind of held it back, because back then they call it like hustling, but in a negative way. buying stuff, selling stuff, and ripping people off. But that was completely not what I was doing, because people really liked what I was selling. I never sold something that does not work 100%. I'm now working on my personal profile, on my online reputation, or my portfolio. I want people to see where I come from, how I learned the skills that I have now. This buying and selling stuff got me a lot of good stuff. It got me a good reputation so people can trust me. Secondly, I know how to sell something. I know which products are bad, mediocre, or very good. I started, advising people in you should buy from that store, that hardware. The second really good thing that I got from this hustling on the internet is I got to know a lot of people that I'm still seeing today. One of those people is like Christoph, the guy I'm working for right now. People really liked the fact that I was selling high quality stuff for a low price with a good service, because I always tried to help people when there were problems and so on. For me, this was really the best thing I think that ever happened to me. It was my pre-entrepreneurial period. And I think that is what got me into what I am right now. If you got any questions about, how can I start doing something like this? How can I, get this entrepreneurial vibe that you have? Just ask me. For me, this is all a passion. So this is how my story actually started. There's a lot more to happen, of course, but that is the basis of my story. Just one last small note to all the parents whose kids are doing stuff like this. Please support them in what they do, because people that do this when they're young, they need to be supported in it, because it can evolve to like becoming an entrepreneur or special skills. I'm not blaming my parents, but they didn't really support me back then in what I was doing with it. It got me where I am right now, being happy, being good at what I do, and please just support your kids if they do something like this. I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye-bye.